What's up, guys? Welcome back to Miami Dolphins Syndicate. As always, I'm your co-host, Donovan Quick. And before we get started today, I do want to talk about how we're on the road to 500 subs. And if you guys could please like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Comment below if you guys think that that we're doing good, if we're doing bad, if we're clowns. Put it in the comments. We want to know your guys' feedback. We want to know what you guys think with, how little is really going on with the Dolphins right now, or how big the scenarios are. So what we got for you today, both Budda Baker and Levonte David have requested trades. Now, should the Dolphins go after either one of those? I'm going to start off with Budda Baker because I think this is the least likely option. He does have a higher cap hit than Levonte David or who else in the safety market that we would go after. Jeez, can I speak? So yeah, Budda Baker, I believe he's due $9 million this year, almost 10, and then next year he's due $14 million. And with that, it's kind of like that's a lot of money. Now we could have gotten Jordan Poyer for a lot cheaper. He's just signed a 2-year deal to stay in Buffalo. I believe it's at like $11 million a year, which I was all for paying him. I thought we should have paid him that. That's just my 2 cents of it. But as far as bringing in another safety, I mean, we did sign Deshaun Elliott, and I like him. I really do. But I want someone else that is, I believe, starting caliber. Now, I love Brandon Jones, but he is coming off an ACL injury. Is he going to be back to as good as he was? Is he going to be better? Because we kind of need him to be a little bit better than he has been. And we know, like, I know a lot of you guys out there, when we were making those Jordan Poyer videos, you absolutely were just roasting us because you wanted Brandon Jones to be the starter. And I do too, don't get me wrong. But to bring in a veteran like Budda Baker would be, that would be the end all to that safety group on top of the cornerback room that we already have. And now I think we have the deepest and best cornerback room in the league. Now, we were just riddled by injuries last year, and then we just got better this year. Last year we lost Nick Needham, we lost Byron Jones, we lost Trill Will. We getting Trill Will back. We have Jalen Ramsey now instead of Byron, so that's an upgrade there. Nick Needham's going to be coming back. Xavier Howard looks as healthy as he's ever been, and probably as better shape than he was at the end of the season. As of right now, he's been on top of his training this offseason. He's trying to come back even better than he was. He was not proud of himself last year. But Budda Baker would just uplift that group. Imagine having all those. Now, it's a lot of personalities. I'll give you that. A lot of personalities, Holland, X, Jalen, but they're all competitors. Brandon Jones kind of brings that little humble mentality there, but he's a hard worker. So once again, all those guys just in that group. Kader Kohu and Nick Needham are undrafted free agents. They got that dog in them. They're already there. So Budda Baker, I think, would absolutely help out this group a lot. And I talked about many times before how much Vic Fangio loves running those 3 safety sets. And with that, him running those 3 safety sets, having Budda out there with... Budda can play strong or free safety. Holland can play strong or free safety, but he's better in free safety. So to have 2 free safeties out there and a strong safety in Brandon Jones, at any time, any of them can blitz. And now, let's also not forget the fact that we kind of need a 4th safety, because are we really going to roll into this season with only 3 true safeties? I know we have Justin Bethel, who's kind of like safety corner, but he's a special teamer. That's really what he is. And so I would love to bring in a guy like that. But going back to the Jordan Poyer comparison, I like Jordan Poyer better. Now, he is a little bit older, but if the Dolphins, who Jordan Poyer wanted to come to us, the Dolphins weren't willing to pay him, and he was cheaper, given he's also older, but he was cheaper than Budda. And on top of that, they would have to give up some kind of draft pick, which, as of recent reports have seen, the Dolphins kind of trying to gain capital rather than trade away capital. So that's kind of where we're at with that. I don't think Budda Baker ends up on this team. I would love him to be on this team. However, I don't think it happens. Now on to Levonte David. Levonte David, if you're at this part, please, or thank you for sticking around. Levonte David, absolutely this man needs to be on this team. I like David Long, but he has an injury history. We don't really have a true middle linebacker that has, I mean, Levonte David has his injuries too, don't get me wrong, but him there in the middle, an all-pro linebacker that has been there. He's been to the playoffs. He's won the Super Bowl. Him in this defense would just be chef's kiss. Like, I cannot describe. However, it comes down to the compensation again. Now, he would fit this scheme perfectly. We need more linebackers. Everybody knows it. But once again, it comes down to the compensation. I think he's going to need at least a second-round pick in order to be traded to the Dolphins, and I don't think it happens. I think that the Dolphins, as of right now, are kind of holding tight onto their picks. When you have a roster like we do, where a lot of people are vets and a lot of people are making a lot of money, you want as much draft capital as you can, so you can continue to build depth around the roster. At this point, you want as much young depth as possible. It's what the Patriots did for years with Brady, and that's why they were successful for so long with, they just kept drafting 32nd pick and like all these guys that can you even remember half the guys that they drafted? No, but turns out they were good with the Patriots, and they had that strong depth for 20 years. So it seems like that's kind of the direction that the Dolphins are trying to go now. They're like, okay, we like our roster. Now let's try to get these young guys that are going to be here for 3-4 years on these super cheap contracts that are going to be backing up the vets, and they're going to be learning from these absolute all pros. And who knows what that turns into? I mean, we've seen with the Patriots, once again, I'm making that comparison because it's just an easy comparison. Their cornerback room is, they've gone through how many? And I know that they traded for Stephon Gilmore, but they just let go of like 3 corners in 3 straight off seasons that was deemed their number 1 corner, and they haven't lost a beat. They really haven't. Now, last year they kind of dealt with a little bit of injuries, and that's why they fell off a little bit. But it's almost like they have limitless depth. And I think that's the direction that the Dolphins are going for, is kind of doing that and building out this roster from the bottom back to the middle, as they've already gone top. They've already put everything out there and been like, okay, yeah, we got our all-star corners. We have our all-star defensive line. Now let's try to build the depth in the linebackers. Let's try to build the depth in the offensive line, in the wide receiver group. We saw them draft Easy E last offseason. Because, and they actually prepared him in that Tyreek Hill role, and they have him on I think a 4-year contract from the draft, and Tyreek's going to be retiring after 3 more seasons. So his last year of his contract is going to be supposedly our first year without Tyreek Hill. So that could be something, building this roster from the bottom to just, they'll be starters in 3 years. That could be something that they're doing. It looks like that's what they're doing. So I don't think that we trade for either of these guys. I know all Dolphins fans kind of just want this Mac Daddy roster. I want to sell out like the Rams did. I really do. But it seems like the Dolphins are going kind of in the middle of the direction, like kind of going towards what the Rams did, but kind of staying back a little bit, not pulling the trigger all the way, so that they can try to build a dynasty like the Patriots did. And that's what I got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this. This is probably the most upbeat I've ever been in a video. Well, ever been in April of this video, because I mean, guys, there has been nothing going on with the Dolphins. So if you're still around here after 10 minutes, I thank you so much. There's not really much Dolphin stuff that's out there right now. So for this to kind of be something that I can communicate with y'all, I really do like it. Jacob does have a video coming out tomorrow, if you're still around here, tomorrow about Christian Wilkins, and then on Sunday about the draft. So we got some draft stuff for y'all. So stay tuned. Peace. Love y'all. Stay safe out there. Deuces.